I gotta say, Jalen Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks' recent success is definitely making me wonder what Trae Young's future in Atlanta looks like. This team is interesting, and they might be more interesting without Trae Young, or at least about as interesting without him as they are with him. And that raises some real questions, I think, for his future in Atlanta and the future of this team, because Jalen Johnson is just turning into a star in front of our eyes. He's playing at an all-star level this year, 29 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, another ridiculous game. He's had several at this point in his season. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has played really, really well, especially since Trae Young has been out, has played great this year. He's averaging 18 a game, shooting 46% from three, 36% from the field. Like, he has played awesome. When you look at his game log, ever since Trae went out, he has been really the entire month of November, scoring almost 20 a game, shooting almost 40% from three, just playing his butt off, and has had some big games, had 38 points, shot really incredibly efficiently in a loss against San Antonio, but just has had a bunch of big games recently, including 30 points tonight against the Cavs. There is just a lot of growth and a lot of positives. Y'all say hi to Brittany. For this Cavs, or for this Hawks team as of late, and I'm impressed. I really am. Like, they have a future that is really cooking, and I have some concerns for sure, but like, Onyeka Okongwu's a 41% three-point shooter now. I gotta be honest, I didn't see that coming, but he's been freaking great this year. Reese Shea, there are still growing pains there, but I think he's pretty talented. I think he's going to be good. He's been very efficient from two-point range this year. Three-point shot is still a work in progress, but I think there's real promise there. Vic Krejci's shooting almost 50% from three this year, has been really, really nice off the bench. Luke Kennard, we know he's a great shooter. He's been a great shooter for this team as well this year. KP really hasn't even played that insanely well, and he's been a really helpful piece for this team between Onyeka and KP. They have a very, very impressive big man rotation, and then at its core, it's Jalen Johnson averaging 21.5 points a game, 9.5 rebounds a game, 7 assists a game, a better than 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, shooting 38.5% from three. He's playing unbelievably well this year. I mean, not just an all-star, he's probably having an all-NBA start to the season right now. Has just been absolutely phenomenal. The one player that I really think I have to criticize more than anyone else, unfortunately, is Dyson Daniels. And not because of the defense. We know that's still special. The offense is definitely hit or miss with him. And the 19% that he's shooting so far from three on low attempts is just really concerning. He's never been a good three-point shooter, but he's always been a better three-point shooter than this. Slow start on low attempts, doesn't seem super confident shooting that three ball. That will be an issue and will hurt this team come later in the season, come playoff time, if that doesn't resolve itself into at least a relatively capable three-point shot. Last year he shot 34%. It needs to be something like that in order for him to be as impactful as he possibly can be. But outside of that, I mean, they've been better since Trae went out. They started the season I believe it was 1-3 in their first 4 games, in the 4 full games that Trae played. Then Trae goes out like in the first quarter of this Brooklyn game, so we can't even really count that as a game he played. And ever since starting 1-3, they are now 11-5 in their last 16 games without Trae. They beat a really solid Cleveland team tonight. Not a ton of incredibly impressive wins, but they blew out the Lakers. They beat the Clippers, who aren't amazing. They beat Orlando by 15. Not a ton of insanely impressive wins, but consistency and sustainability. A good win against Phoenix as well. Really think they're getting a lot of different contributions from a lot of different guys as well, which has been a huge for this team. You have, on any given night, Jalen Johnson having a great night, or Nickeil Alexander-Walker stepping up, having a big game, and Onyeka Okongwu. KP's due for a couple good games here and there. Just a lot of versatility from this team in terms of all the different options they have, and they've been really, really good ever since, again, Trae goes out. They're a top 12 offense in basketball. I didn't expect them to be that good offensively without Trae, but they've been really, really solid. And defensively, they're a top 11 defense. Right around the top 10 in both categories is generally that's contenderish, you know what I mean? And they're 11th in net rating since that point. But again, they have a lot of flexibility cap-wise, and that's going to become even more so potentially here in the next few years. One beautiful thing about this team, Jalen Johnson, after this year, not even including this year, is under team control for 4 more years at $30 million a year. That is going to turn into one of the biggest steals of any contract in basketball. And honestly, it helps offset what we'll see what happens. What might be a little questionable Dyson Daniels contract if he can't quite start to shoot the three ball. That being said, $25 million a year for him isn't unreasonable either. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, arguably the best defensive guard in basketball, and he's 22 years old. You got to give him time. He hasn't shot the three ball well to start the season, but I still have faith there as well. And having some of these core guys locked up long term, I mean, even Nickeil Alexander-Walker's going to be here for the next 3 years on a really, really good contract in his own right for how much, or for how good of a contributor he's been this year. Same thing with Onyeka Okongwu, $16 million a year for the next couple of years. Just so many quality contracts that this team has gives them a lot of flexibility going forward, especially if they were to trade Trae. And the most ridiculous thing about it is they will likely have a high lottery pick this year too. They will receive the more favorable of Milwaukee's 2026 first and New Orleans' 2026 first this year. In addition to having another first, it's not going to be as good of a first, but still, they will have 2 first-round picks this year, and they will likely have a really, really good first-round pick because the Pelicans suck. They're 3-16. They're basically one of the 4 worst teams in basketball right now. Really good chance that team has a top 5 pick. That means that there is a very real possibility that the Hawks are able to add a Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, AJ DeBansa. I could go on, obviously. Neokilis Adalis, I'm really high on. A lot of other guys, Caleb Wilson, a lot of other impact players from this draft class as well. And there's a really good chance the Hawks will have an opportunity to add an impact guy to this team in addition, basically for free, you know what I mean, on a rookie contract. And it's not for free, but it's obviously another very good quality contract. They're in a great spot financially. They have pretty decent draft assets, and I do wonder what this means for Trae Young's future. The fact that they have been so solid without him, the fact that Jalen Johnson has been able to step into this level of a playmaking role and do it really efficiently. Dyson Daniels with a better than 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio as well. Nickeil Alexander-Walker elevating his game and maybe not looking like Shea, but definitely holding up his end of the Alexander name. There's a lot to like about this team, man. And that's where I'm immediately like, do you really even need Trae Young? It's because he's going to hurt you defensively, and offensively, they're proven to be good without him. What is his trade value? I don't know. He has a player option for next year and then is not under team control at all. It's an interesting spot, but it's a spot where nonetheless, I'm kind of sitting here like, is this a long-term fit for this Hawks team at this point? Is this kind of Trae Young's time? I don't know, but I wouldn't be shocked. And I would have to think they will investigate that market at a very minimum. There are a lot of teams out there that could use the caliber of playmaker that Trae Young is. And I do think there would be a market for him for sure. But I just don't know if the fit is still there in Atlanta. And maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he comes back and can add to this even more. But I almost wonder, with his style of play, is that going to take away from what is making Jalen Johnson so effective as of late as kind of the centerpiece of this offense, from what has allowed Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Onyeka Okongwu and guys like that to elevate their game this year? Will the return of Trae potentially stifle some of that? And the honest answer is, I'm not sure, but I think it's something to legitimately be concerned about. The growth that you're seeing from Jalen Johnson is really big. And the growth you're seeing from several of these other role players is huge too. I still think Reece Shea's got some room to grow and grow into his ceiling. They have role players shooting the ball great. I love the depth now at the big man spots with Okongwu, KP, and then obviously Mohamed Gay as well. There is a lot to like about this roster, man. I think they're in a really good spot and are well positioned to be one of the better teams in the East this year and to continue to build towards a bright future. They're the 5 seed right now, 3.5 games back. They're playing really well as of late. If they continue to play, win the 2 to lose 1 out of every game, that's a team that's going to be a real dangerous threat. I can see a top 4 seed for them, especially with other teams kind of starting to struggle. For example, the Sixers. I mean, the Magic are finding their groove for sure, but the Cavs haven't been quite the same this year. Honestly, I'm not certain the Knicks have been either. The Heat are good, but I feel like they might be overachieving just slightly right now on the offensive end of the court. Raptors are super solid, but are they going to continue to, I mean, they're on a 9-game win streak right now. Is that something that's sustainable? I'm not sure. They were 5-5 prior to that. There are real question marks with a lot of these teams in the Eastern Conference, which again means there's an opportunity for the Hawks. So it'll be interesting to see if they can step forward and step into that even more this year, and what they decide to do come the deadline, because I think they have some really interesting discussions and choices to make here in the relatively near future. That being said, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.